Did he have Blevins, he or she?
I think Colonel Blevins there. He had a whole list.
I just copied it, but I didn't see Blevins.
I just told him.
You might want to hide it.
Okay. How are you? Good morning, everyone.
Company, attention! Carry on.
How's it going? Good to see you.
Good morning, all. First, I would like to acknowledge our distinguished guests today. We have the Adjutant General Michael R. Berry, Brigadier General Danberg, Brigadier General Holton, Colonel Stoll, Colonel Karwaka, Colonel Blevins, Lieutenant Colonel Sharp, Lieutenant Colonel Malloy, Major DeFlavis, and Major Murphy. We also have State Command Chief Wilson, Command Chief Ottinger, Command Sergeant Major Crossman, Command Sergeant Major Fields, Command Sergeant Major Layton, and Sergeant Major Del Vecchio. The unit has been formed to allow for our state-level leadership to recognize the 153rd Military Police Company with awards achieved during training year 2020. First, Brigadier General Danberg, the Assistant Adjutant General, will present Captain Brian Grant with the Captain Robert Kirkwood Award. The Kirkwood Award is named after Captain Robert Kirkwood, a company commander for the 1st Delaware Regiment during the Revolutionary War. Captain Kirkwood was frequently cited as the most outstanding company commander for duration of the war. Each year, a commander is nominated from the 3 major subordinate commands. The commanders undergo a board, and the officers are evaluated on their leadership, training performance, attendance, recruiting and retention, and accomplishment of tasks and inspections.
Captain. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I grew up in Newark, right down the road from the University of Delaware. Went to St. Mark's High School, drove up Kirkwood Highway every day for years on end. And it wasn't until I was married and my wife, who didn't grow up in Delaware, told me, hey, you know, it's not Kirkwood Highway, it's the Kirkwood Highway. Do you know why? I had no idea. It never occurred to me. You know, people just name things. You know, you get whatever developer is developing a particular community, they throw a name on something. It doesn't mean anything necessarily to anybody except the developer. But in today's age of Google, my wife said that when she made this comment to me, I actually took the time to go back and try to figure it out. And I found out, embarrassingly enough, that it actually was named after a true American hero from Newark, Delaware. This is a man who grew up in Newark. He graduated from what would become the University of Delaware and went on to become a captain in the Delaware Continentals and fought in the Revolutionary War. And he fought in every battle that his unit fought in, starting in 1975. In 1775, all the way through 1781, 32 consecutive battles that he led his unit into. And by the way, it is his units that led to the moniker, the Delaware Blue Hen Chickens. So a true American hero that is a Delaware hero. And he's somebody that he became known as the distinguished leader within the Delaware Continentals. And so the Delaware National Guard has created an award in his honor to bring to the attention leaders in our organization who truly demonstrate the values of courage and leadership that were exemplified by Robert Kirkwood. And so this year's award recipient is Captain Brian Grant, and a well-deserved award. So if we can just take a moment and talk a little bit about what Captain Grant has done, because when I read his bio, it kind of makes me blush a little bit, because he really has served his country and his state with distinction. This is an individual who was then Private Grant, enlisted in the United States Army in 1995, graduated from basic training, and became an MP. And within months, literally months, was mobilized and deployed to Germany, where he served as an MP doing base security in Mannheim. And that he continued down this career path for a couple of years, getting promoted regularly, became a sergeant and a platoon leader. From 2001 to 2004, he was mobilized in support of Fort Dix in the wake of 9/11 and in support of Homeland Security. He became the Fort Dix SRT team leader. And then in 2004, he exited military services for a few years. In 2010, he re-entered military service as in the Army Reserves as a CID agent. And he graduated from CID school in 2011 and was mobilized in the CID Protection Services Battalion, where he provided close-in protection for the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So really significant, important duty in the services of our country. He then deployed to Afghanistan as a civilian Army CID agent. And in 2013, he received his direct commission to the MP Corps. Now, meantime, he's still serving in the civilian world as a Newcastle County police officer. He then left the Newcastle County Police in 2011 and became a special agent in the U.S. Army CID Major Procurement Fraud Unit in Philadelphia. So this is an individual who throughout his career continues to be high speed, taking on challenges, taking on important duties. In 2017, Captain Grant transferred to the Delaware Army National Guard as a platoon leader in the MP Company. In September of 2017, he became the executive officer, and in September of 2019, he started what became the Delaware National Guard Combatives Program. So I find this completely remarkable. In the team's very first competition under the leadership of Captain Grant, the Delaware team placed 12th out of 112 competing teams. First tournament out of the gate. I mean, a truly remarkable leader to put this kind of thing together. So the accomplishments of Brian Grant are truly remarkable. He clearly exemplifies leadership in Delaware and the Delaware National Guard. For me, one of the hallmarks of a leader is retention, right? Our soldiers, do they want to serve under him? In the first month as the new commander of the 153rd, he had 27 people re-enlist under his command. To me, that tells me that Delaware has found itself a true leader, and we want to hang on to him. So Captain Grant, thank you very much for your leadership, for your service to your state and your country, and congratulations on this award. If you'd like to make some remarks, please join us.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much. To recognize some of our special guests here today. First and foremost, my family. My wife is my high school sweetheart, so she's been with me since 1992, so she's lived through all those experiences, good ones and bad. General Berry, General Danberg, General Halton, Colonel Blevins, Colonel Kawaka, Colonel Hills, Colonel Sharp, who's a mentor to me, Major DeFlavis, who's also a mentor, Colonel Malloy, who's always there whenever I need guidance and questions, Chaplain Murphy, who I've known for approximately 20 years now, who's provided spiritual guidance and has blessed every badge I've ever worn. A great person, and I consider him a good friend. Again, Major DeFlavis, who's also a close mentor. CW5 Wilson, Command Sergeant Major Crossman, Command Sergeant Major Fields, Command Sergeant Major Layton, who I actually bounce all my ideas off of first before I go anywhere else nowadays. So he's been a great mentor. Command Chief Ottinger, thank you for coming. And Sergeant Major Delvecchio is also someone who always provides me guidance when I need it. I'll make my comments short, but I just want to know it's a great honor to receive this prestigious award. I appreciate it very much. I'll cherish this throughout the rest of my life. Although I'm the recipient of this award, I am aware that any of my ideas cannot get done without the great officers, NCOs, and soldiers who stand before me. First and foremost, the full-time staff, Sergeant McCall, Sergeant Powell, Sergeant Riley, Staff Sergeant Sanders. They answer the phone every time I call. Usually when I call, it's a good idea, and a good idea incorporates a whole bunch of work for them, which is true, and they always they tell me if it's a crazy idea or if it's something we should go forward with. So I appreciate that. I have the best executive officer in the state, Lieutenant Amanda Perry. She just graduated Captain's Career Course yesterday on the Commandant's list. So it's here for. They're going to kill me for that later on. First Sergeant Ashby, who I've worked with as a civilian cop, and he's the best first sergeant in the state. Again, he always provides the best guidance when I need it. He has told me no several times. Right. Our operations section, led by Sergeant Brooks, they've completely revamped our training, and I think that's why I think that's really why the Hastings Award is being given to this company, because of our operations section. They've done a phenomenal job. Our platoon leaders and platoon sergeants are the best soldiers I've ever served with. I can't say enough about how they've improved communication and how they are mentoring our soldiers to be the best leaders for the future of the Guard. 72nd Troop Command, 721st Delaware State Police, we continue to train with them every year. They definitely are a force multiplier when it comes to our readiness. The 126th and 238th Aviation, nothing better than flying around in helicopters doing training. That keeps our soldiers motivated. I think that's the smartest thing we ever did, was start training with them. The 166 Security Forces, we've been training with the security forces over the past year. I think that's another force multiplier for the state. It's good to learn from the security forces, and I'm sure they appreciate learning from us as well, especially when it comes to crowd control. It's made our training limitations are now limitless. And the officers are only good as their soldiers, so I'm going to brag a little bit about my soldiers real quick. Staff Sergeant Bart, he was our state NCO of the year. He competed in Region 2's Best Warrior last year and really represented the Delaware Guard in its best light. He is one of our best squad leaders in our company. First Sergeant Ashby, he created a Best Warrior competition internally for the company. As a result of that, we sent Sergeant Sturgis and Specialist Fink to the Battalion Best Warrior. They won both, so we have the State NCO of the Year, Battalion NCO of the Year, and the Battalion Soldier of the Year. You can't beat that. They're good results. Sergeant Russell, Sergeant Morris, Sergeant Connell, and PFC Jackson. They are our SMEs when it comes to crowd control. Over the past year, they've trained our security forces, the 160th Engineers, 262, and a QRF during the inauguration week, which consisted of 54 soldiers from 16 different units. And they had them, you would have thought that they had spent years together by the end of the week. They did a phenomenal job, and they're great soldiers and great leaders. In June, I got a phone call that we needed to go down to possibly have to be ready to go down to DC. Within 8 hours, we had our Advon was reaching DC, which was, in my opinion, extremely impressive that we were able to get, from phone call to boots 20 minutes outside of DC within 8 hours is extremely impressive. Just shows our readiness. We are definitely a ready company. Super impressive. And then in August, recently in January when we went down there, Lieutenant Rigoli, a young officer, himself and First Sergeant Ashby, went down to DC, represented the state in the best light. I've heard nothing but great comments about how the 153rd performed down there. Made me extremely proud. While I was back here in the rear with the QRF, I knew that things were being taken care of down in DC because Lieutenant Rigoli and First Sergeant Ashby were on top of it. As well, this past June as well, we were invited to train with all of our state local law enforcement officers in Smyrna in a state readiness exercise for crowd control. Again, we sent our Lieutenant Rigoli down there with some of our young NCOs. I've gotten nothing but great feedback from the other law enforcement officers saying how professional our soldiers are in the 153rd and how the leadership really reflects on what a great unit this is. And I am lucky because I can say this, we are the best unit, without a doubt. And again, we've re-enlisted 27 soldiers, right? So, sir, I'm trying to meet your recruiting and retention. We're out there, and we're keeping people in. I am literally sometimes begging people to stay because they're good people, and we want to keep them all. In closing, I consider this award a great accomplishment, but I'm well aware without my soldiers, I couldn't accomplish anything. And most importantly, Lisa, Molly, and Katie, they deal with Dad on the phone all night long. They actually have like a whole imitation skit they do of me on the phone with Sergeant Ashby, Sergeant Skinner, and the full-time staff. So this is why I do what I do, and I appreciate all your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, General Danberg and Captain Grant. General Danberg will now present the 153rd Military Police Company with the Major General George K. Hastings Excellence in Training Award and the Army National Guard Excellence Streamer. Major General George K. Hastings Excellence in Training Award and the Army National Guard Excellence Streamer are presented to one company or detachment size unit within the Delaware Army National Guard for their personnel, training, logistical, and total operational excellence during a given training year.
So the General Hastings Award is named after a former adjutant general, and it is designed to recognize an excellent unit in the Delaware National Guard, a unit that has exemplified the esprit de corps and training excellence. And so this year's recipient is the 153rd. And it has distinguished itself through outstanding efforts in personnel, in training and logistics, from 1 October 2019 through September 30th, 2020, leading to a total operational excellence during the training year 2020. So none of this relates to really what we've been experiencing in the last 6 months. The last 15 months in total have been absurdly busy. And the 153rd has been at the tip of the spear. From Major General Barry and myself, I want to tell all of you and your families, thank you. I appreciate what you have all been through in the last several months. First COVID, and several of you were activated to support the state's COVID-19 efforts. Then we had the statewide demonstrations, the riot in the city of Wilmington, and we had the activation of you all to help support the City of Wilmington Police Department. Then we had the whole insurrection down in DC, followed by the inauguration and the ongoing efforts to maintain Capitol security. And at each juncture, the 153rd's been leading the way, and I want to tell you thank you. Thank you very much, and please convey to your families how much we appreciate what you all have done on behalf of your state and your nation over the last 15 months. Now, really, that's not what this award is about. This award is for the operational and logistics support of the 153rd over the preceding 12 months. And to just give an idea, a flavor of some of the accomplishments, annual training attendance for the 153rd, 90%. IDT training, 95%. And by the way, that was 3 percentage points higher than the next unit in the state of Delaware. Weapons qualification, 100% participation rate from the eligible soldiers, qualification rate of 100%. APFT, 100% participation rate from the eligible and available soldiers. Duty MOSQ, 97% rate, exceeding demand by 7%. And for those, I look at these numbers every quarter of the total number of soldiers available versus the total number of soldiers that are duty MOSQ. Nobody is at 97%. That is remarkable. And then, as the captain mentioned, all of the training events, and in particular the work with the local law enforcement community to keep us integrated and grounded in our community. Because Delaware's first, right? We've got to support our nation. We have to be prepared to serve our dual federal and state mission. But on a day-to-day basis, while we're waiting to be needed and activated for federal service, we're here to serve our state. And the 153rd has exemplified that by training with its community partners on a regular basis. And again, on behalf of the TAG, on behalf of Major General Barry and myself, congratulations to the 153rd, and thank you for all that you have done during the last training year and what you've already done. And ma'am, thank you very much. Ladies, I appreciate what you all have put up with. I mean, we all understand the birthdays that are missed, the anniversaries that are missed on a regular basis. But when you look at Brian's record of accomplishment, what that also means is that he was absent for significant periods of time. And he couldn't have done it without the support and the love of his family. So thank you very much, ladies. Captain, take command of your troops.
This concludes the ceremony for today.